Hello everybody and welcome to another post and another question. What's the worst injury you've ever sustained whilst performing? I've only got 5 minutes, mate. So the three things that I have suffered, and the first one was passing out. I actually passed out during rehearsal. I was fine for about 8 hours. And then I noticed everything was going a bit wobbly and a bit woozy, and you know, the next thing I knew was I was on the floor, and the only reason that anybody found me was because they tripped over me in the dark. As it turns out, not eating for 8 hours is actually not very good for you. The next thing that I suffered was I actually crashed onto my head and knocked myself out. I was doing a lot of physical theatre, and with physical theatre, obviously, clues in the name, lots of physical movement, and one of those was me doing kickstands on an unsprung concrete floor. And she made me do that for nearly an hour, and then my arm buckled under me, and I fell headfirst onto the concrete and knocked myself out. And the final one was actually my fault. Oops. And it's possibly the funniest out of the trio of terrible things that have happened to me on stage. And that is, I was miming and I dropped down too suddenly and I kneed myself in my own teeth. Oh, it's quite a stretch, really. I don't think I could do that even now on purpose. At first, I stood up and I was just like, you know when you're doing that sort of like, you're too injured to really react, so you just spend like a good 30 seconds going, Arr! And at first, everybody thought it was part of the mime. They thought I was joking until they saw the blood, and then they were just like, so yes, those are the three worst things that have ever happened to me on stage. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. You can also contact me on Facebook, and you can also contact me on Twitter. I would love to hear your questions or comments, or furthermore, if you have any stories of your own of horrendous things that have happened to you on stage, on set, anything like that, you've really injured yourself or you made a total fool of yourself, please, we'd love to hear from you. That's everything for another week, and tune in next week where hopefully I'll be answering more of your questions. Thank you very much for watching. Bye! I'm gonna go for a sandwich now. I am so hungry. I'm surprised that like the mic on this thing didn't pick up my stomach going, ugh.